Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the BYD Atto 3, which is a born electric car. Atto actually comes from the word attosecond, which is the smallest fraction of a second that you can measure. There's also an Atto 4, which is obviously a sedan with more power and all that. But this is actually known as the Yuan Plus in China. Now it has a lot of tech. For starters, I can press this key to turn on the vehicle remotely. There, I mean, obviously with connected car bits you can do a lot of this, but there the vehicle is actually turned on. Well, I'll do one thing. I will just lock the car, and as soon as I do that, it will not lock because it's already on now. Oh, it did lock. That's kind of crazy. So how do I unlock it? I can obviously unlock it using the key here, or I can use the NFC card right here, and I just tap it here. There, it unlocks. Isn't that super duper duper cool? So you're just gonna shut the car. When I do that, it tells me that the windows are open, no problem, and I just lock the car. Okay, here, one tap, car is locked, and as soon as I do that, the windows actually go up. Isn't that super cool, this NFC card? Here, we are going to unlock the car again. So anyways, first things first, let's actually turn on the car. And when I do that, you can see the graphics which come. There's this water droplet happening on both the screens. It says BYD right there, and there it's turned on. Make some noise as well. Straight away, let's open the engine bay. Let's turn on the lights. When I do that, this actually dims, and let's also turn on the indicators. The air conditioning is turned on.
Media is muted.
Okay, you keep quiet. I'm not talking to you. I don't know why she keeps talking to me for no reason. Anyways, let's get outside. And straight away, let me show you the key of the vehicle. This to lock the car, this to unlock the car, this to open the boot of the vehicle, and this is to turn on the car from the outside. It says BYD here. Not that this matters because obviously it's electric, so you can't even hear it. And the NFC card is also very cool. It's a very nice feature to have. Anyways, let's straight away open the engine bay, which means there's a lever which I have to, oh my god, I think I have to pull it once again because it doesn't seem it's going to move at all. So here, let's pull it again. Yeah. Now this could be a bit of a difficulty because I'm doing it for the very first time, and maybe, okay, now it works, So, oh yes, oh my god, this is so much like a BMW that you pull it twice and there's no lever here that you need to pull. That's kind of nice. You can see, okay, that is a battery management system because you've got orange cabling as well, high voltage of course, and there is no frunk here. So there is no storage space, unfortunately. Washer fluid goes in right there. There's insulation, and this is quite heavy. My goodness, it's very heavy. And there are no gas struts here either. Let's shut this. Shuts with a sort of softness. Now this has a dragon face, which BYD likes to call as. Anyways, this is the DRL. You can see that. It's a full LED light. They call it the crystal LED or something of that sort. There you can see beautiful treatment on the inside. Projector setup, a blue tinge as well. So lights are amazing. And then you get this silver line which runs throughout. In fact, this light continues all the way to the other light. And here I've actually turned on the indicator to show you how the DRL actually turns into the indicator. I mean, it replaces it there. There's no fog light treatment, but there is a vent which is very much functional here. You get front parking sensors, of course, BYD written here at the front, and there is a camera right there. This is the panel for ADAS functions, of course. That's about it. Nothing much. It actually looks quite impressive in this blue color. When you come to the side, you realize it is not really full SUV, but more of a crossover. In fact, the length is 4.45 meters. The wheelbase, because this is electric, is quite long. So the wheelbase turns out to be 2.72 meters, which is very good for a car of this size because obviously electric, right? So you get all the wheelbase you want in the world. And the alloy wheel design is particularly impressive to me because the size of the tires happens to be 215/55/18s, but the design is really amazing. You get this typical treatment which you get in EVs for better aero efficiency. From here, air is pushed again for aero efficiency. There you can see the suspension, independent suspension, and you get this body cladding which runs throughout the car. It says BYD design because this car is designed by BYD. Now, I know I sound stupid, but earlier cars were designed by Toyota, so they did not write Toyota design. It was not designed by Toyota. They just copy pasted Toyota's design completely. Yeah, that's what Chinese used to do earlier. Thankfully, now they are doing their own designs and stuff. Here you get a camera because obviously we get a 360-degree parking camera, and this sort of a treatment here which kind of looks very fishy in terms of design, if I may. There's a shark fin antenna there, nice roof rails, which I don't think will be functional anyways, and door opens decent sized, and you can see there is good amount of space on offer, like really very impressive. Lot of interesting bits. Okay, door pockets are decent sized here. These strings are made to replicate a guitar. So again, very quirky. This is the speaker, this is the tweeter, and over that is the door handle, which is just amazing. And this treatment is going to get really dirty, but it is made to replicate muscle fiber. So the interior is a mix of music as well as fitness. So that is the theme running here. You can see it's a very amazing and different and quirky design which they have given the car. And ambient light is placed here as well. In fact, when someone is in your line of sight, this thing blinks red.
Please be careful of cars coming behind you and opening the door.
It has this multitude of ADAS functions for your safety. Seats look very comfortable. You get this red piping sort of thingy, red double stitching as well. Really nice seats, quite comfortable. And then obviously you can recline the seat like this in 60/40 format to increase the boot carrying capacity as well. Now straight away, let me tell you that there is good amount of leg room and knee room, but the seat is so low now that under thigh support is very poor. There is some storage space here, USB-C, USB-A, says BYD design here. Now these vents are made to replicate a dumbbell and very easy to operate. The click is so reassuring here. Now this is not really scooped out, but there is a magazine holder here. There are two pockets right here for your phone as well, and there is a center armrest as well. So it has got twin cup holders, center passenger gets a head, every headrest is very much adjustable in this car. Fantastic, I really like it. I really love the design. They've done a fab job. There's a light placement here on the top which is touch operated. This thing has a hook. There is a handle as well. Seat belts get the height adjust function, says airbag here. It has got 7 airbags because there's a center airbag for the driver as well. So 2 airbags there, curtain airbags too, all that. This is really very big, okay, because the front seats have integrated headrests, very sporty, piano black finishing, but it's so big now it kind of hinders the view ahead. And the dashboard design is even more quirky than you can imagine. It's very nice. This is actually made to replicate a treadmill. That is dumbbell, that is muscle fiber, and that is probably something to do with boxing. So it's a very unique sort of design they have given for the interior, which people will love or hate. Anyways, it says BYD Tech right there. Now you can see dynamic swipe indicators. Oh my god, look at those dynamic swipe indicators. They look kind of cool. There's this chrome line which runs throughout. In fact, the light is a continuous treatment, very much like an Audi or a Porsche. It says EV. Okay, this is obviously the reflector. Rear parking sensors everywhere. There's the camera. It says trunk open from here. Thank you so much for telling me. I didn't even know. Atto 3, the name of the vehicle. Of course, it's got all LED lights because electric cars need to run on all LED lights to conserve energy. You get a rear wiper, you get a high mounted stop lamp, a spoiler, a shark fin antenna. All that is there. From the rear, I don't find it that impressive, but from the front, it looks kind of cool. Now, Faisal Khan's fingers of truth will obviously hunt for the exhaust, which will not be there because this is a complete electric car. So why will it have an exhaust? But I can show you the underbody of the vehicle. There it is. I showed it to you twice, so you should hit the like button, not twice, because if you do that, it will not like. Anyways, let's try and open the boot of the vehicle, which means that I have to actually press this button here. There you go. Yeah, it's a power tailgate, of course, and the loading lip is on the higher side. That is a bit of a problem, but the boot is 440 liters, and you can raise the boot height here. Light placement right there. Some storage space here, so cubby holes on both the sides, and the spare wheel is not there in this car. Yeah, this car does not come with a spare wheel. It has a tire repair kit though, and warning triangle and all that is kept here. Spare wiper is also here, high visibility jacket and all that. So what I can do is I can increase this right here if I want to hide stuff and then carry it. Power tailgate, if I press this button, there it shuts, or you can call it electric tailgate. Anyways, let's come to the front. By the way, the ground clearance is 175 mm, which is decent enough. Now it's running on some weird tires known as Atlas Batman A51. These tires cost half of MRF and last double than that, so they are 4 times better, only in terms of lasting, not really in terms of grip. But anyways, an electric car definitely needs better grip. So how do you charge this car? There's a charging port which is given here. It says LED technology right here. You can see the blue tinge inside, and here is how the charging happens, which you talk about when we are driving the car in terms of how long does the charge last, how much time does it take to charge. This does not align. That's a bit of a problem. Chassis number is written right here. Dual blade wipers. That is the camera for the lane keep assist, of course. And it says NFC here for the thing which I already showed you. Now, the thing is, here those strings are so cool now. I don't know how functional it is, but it's really a very cool treatment. Door pockets are not very big at the front, just to open the boot of the vehicle. Again, nice treatment, everything gets illumination here. These are the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. These are the controls for the power windows, which are one touch up and down for everybody. Front seats get 8-way power adjust, of course. And seats are really nice and comfortable. They've done a fab job there. The vents are like super duper cool. And here is a button to browse through stuff, which we'll talk about in a bit. Okay, you get a proper dead pedal. You can see it has this aftermarket mat thing, which is quite nice and which is like aftermarket, of course. So let's not talk about it. There's some storage space here along with a USB charging socket. Can you see that? Yeah, and it has also got, I don't know which is the center one, but a regular USB-A also, and a 12-volt charging socket as well. Because it's an electric car, a born electric car, it doesn't have a transmission which is going through in the center. That's why there's some storage space there, of course. It's kind of hidden, you don't notice it immediately. Now, first things first, let's shut the indicators. And as soon as I turn off the light, okay, this becomes bright. The glove box is decent size, doesn't get the cooling function. What we need to do is we need to open the sun blind of the sunroof. Thing is, the sunroof is quite big. Yeah, it is big enough. In fact, I can open the sunroof very easily with voice commands as well. All I need to do is say, "Hey BYD, open sunroof." Alright, there it is opening, which is very much what we see in a lot of cars, including this car's own Chinese counterpart, which happens to be none other than MG, of course. So here, okay, that means what's the maximum it opens? Yeah, it opens even further. Oh my god, that's quite a lot. It's very big. That's what she said. Let's actually shut it. Yeah, that's nice. Anyways, this looks quite good. And below here you've got storage space. It has a key sign here. It's very deep as such. This does not slide ahead or behind. It's kind of fixed. You've got twin cup holders here. Let's do one thing. Let's use the wipers right away. There's good amount of spray on offer. Wipers actually work quite nice. This is auto dimming, of course. Light placement here on the top, which is touch operated. And here you get a mirror along with the light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror along with a light. Okay, it's quite nice. The quality of this car is very impressive somehow. I didn't expect that to be the case. Now, again, I was telling you the AC vents look super cool. And then again, nice click to operate them. Look at that. Isn't that super duper cool? Now, there's a wireless charging pad right here. Steering wheel is adjustable both for reach as well as rake. And BYD is written here. In fact, BYD is also written at the rear, which you must have noticed. And the full form is written, which is Build Your Dreams in Porsche format. So, BYD means Build Your Dreams. That's the full form of the company. BYD also means Block Your Date, by the way. At least I hear it a lot of times, because in the media, when brands want to block your date for a drive, they send you a BYD invite. So that's a little confusing now. Anyways, red stitching is given here, which is quite cool. And you know what? Doors do shut with a nice thud. Now, this is the ambient light treatment. Ambient light is actually quite good. In fact, let me get into the ambient light of this vehicle. Thing is, this is so good to browse. It's very easy. I get into settings and then I have to get into display. Okay, here there are multiple themes and all that stuff. I can get into more vehicle settings, ambient lighting. You can see there are 64 colors for the ambient lighting, which is cool enough. In fact, you can see ambient light is here or there as well. And then you can decide the various things. There are also various rhythms. You can decide that as well, tropical or stars or whatever, and music rhythm too. I mean, all the settings are here. This menu is so much like a Tesla. Yeah, they have actually ripped apart the menu thing from a Tesla, but the good thing is they have done a fab job, because it's very slick. It's quite fast. It doesn't hang. It's a very nice screen. Then you can decide your steering mode, brake pedal regulation and all that. So I'm very impressed with this. And all the menus are like super duper slick, like super fast. You also have a dash cam here, wherein you can actually record here. This is the real-time image. I can decide I want to record a video or photo, and then I can do all that as well. Isn't that amazing? Here. Okay, I shut the car by mistake. I was trying to turn it on. I thought it's already on. Yeah, there. It does this whole menu thingy. Now, this is actually a 12.8-inch screen, which is decent sized, of course. It's actually quite big, not decent. It is big enough. And here, let me browse through various things. Let me get into radio. It has an 8-speaker system. Let's listen to an audio right away. which is basically a 4-speaker and 4-tweeter system. It's very nice. The audio quality is also quite impressive. You get the usual bit like BYD Assistant, which is hey BYD, and it obviously turns on, and then you can do a lot of things which I already showed you right now. Then driving recorder, which I was talking about. Basically, it's a dash cam and you can record, take pictures and all, which is again very cool. I don't know why it's not activated. It says no SD card, please insert it. So next time I'll get my own SD card, record stuff, take it back with me. You've got album. So basically, I took a picture earlier today when the driver starting here, which saves right there. Quality of the screen, the speed of the screen, the fluidity of the screen is very good. It's quite surprising. I never expected it to be this slick. It's very slick. It has got Spotify as well, and then obviously Bluetooth is there. Apple CarPlay is there, Android Auto connectivity is there, but it is not activated yet. It will get activated next year. It has got a PM 2.5 filter. It has got an N95 filter. All these filters, obviously, that's showing 6 is inside the AQI. Outside is 197. Come on, Chennai, you can do better. Anyways, don't become a Delhi or a Mumbai right now, because Mumbai also is pretty bad in that regard. The settings and everything is very easy to browse, okay? Then you can actually get into the various ADAS functions as well, turn them on and off, and then, I mean, it's insane the amount of ADAS functions, because it's got level 2 ADAS, of course. And let me just get out of this. So all the features, everything is so nicely done. I really like this screen. The only thing which could have been better is probably if it was like a portrait screen instead of landscape. No problem. I press this button and there, yeah, it tilts, so you can actually use it vertical or horizontal. How freaking cool is that? There's also a button here to do this tilting function. Insane. Check this out. Okay, this is actually the mechanism. I can't see it, but you guys can definitely see it. So that function is also there, which you can operate at any given speed. How cool. Amazing. And then air conditioning controls are given here. So these are the controls for the air conditioning. This is for the drive mode, and here when I change the drive mode, it actually shows it to me in this particular screen. This is for the volume control. Nice knurled finishing. And the engine start button, rather the motor start button, is like kind of crystal, and it has something written on the inside. It's got start and stop written on the inside. Fantastic. Electric parking brake. This is for the ICE mode, I believe. This is for the regen. Auto hold function. This is for the blind spot assist. This is for like the parking sensors, and this is for the hazard lights if you want to turn them on. This gear lever actually feels very much like an aircraft style one. There, it's pretty nice. It has this beautiful button to unlock and all. I really love the way they have actually focused on small attention to detail bits. Okay, this will definitely get quite dirty, but that blue finishing is actually quite impressive. I really like it. So very nice interior. You will definitely love it. This is obviously the panel for the ADAS function. Now let me do one thing. Let me come back and let's get into the camera. Now thing is, to get into the camera, it is very easy. Okay, because I'm in reverse right now. It will not, yeah, it will not. There it is. Now we are in park. So here it is, the button. If I press this button, there turns on the camera. Now the thing is, MG also does 360-degree cameras, but look at the fluidity of this camera. It is unfreaking believable how fluid this camera is. It's like so fast. There is no lag only here. And then you can also decide, and you know what, you can actually pair this camera with the indicator. So when you give the indicator, it will automatically turn. The car has to be at speed, then only it works. So I'll show that to you when we are driving. Of course, 360-degree view. There I can make it a transparent view. I can get into the settings of the camera and make a lot of changes there also. But camera quality is fab. Here we get into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera. It's got adaptive guidelines as well, but it's a very nice camera. I didn't expect it to be such a good camera, especially the speed at which it twirls and turns now. Very nice. The gripe here is that this screen is chin to minto at just 5-inch. You can't see much information. Actually, there is information, but you can't really read it properly. But you can browse through stuff here, which means here I get into the menu, and there it's showing me average speed, driving time, and what is the consumption like. There's a tire pressure monitor here, so a lot of information there. Screen quality is actually good. You get so much information, and obviously it's saying standard because the region is on standard. Here I can change it to high as well, and then the drive mode also I can change from normal, sport, eco, and all. That also changes here. Odometer, all that, battery percentage. So it's giving me a lot of information here. Now the steering wheel has plenty of buttons. These all buttons feel a bit cheap to operate. Now these are actually for the adaptive cruise control. These buttons are for the adaptive cruise controls, how much distance you want to maintain between cars. Then this is obviously for the camera. This is for twirling this screen. It never gets old. I really enjoy doing it all the time. These are actually the controls for the audio system, and you get automatic headlights. In fact, this button here is for the lane keep assist. No, it's not. It's actually to browse through this twin trip meter, odometer and all that stuff. So very much like a BMW. And these are the controls for the wipers, which also work very well. In fact, it says airbag here, and it's also written in Chinese somehow, because this car is obviously SKD. Good quality. I didn't expect the quality to be so good. The horn is also quite nice. Anyways, how is it to drive? Well, let's start driving right away. Alright, we are all set to go, which means first and foremost we turn off the air conditioning. I straight away get into drive mode, turn off the hazard lights because it's making this weird sound with the hazard lights, and we will also turn on the camera because why not? And as soon as I leave the accelerator pedal, it moves very smoothly ahead. In fact, if you notice, when I start talking, that there's this weird noise which comes, so that's the brand sound. So obviously there is no sound from the motor. So because this patch of road is so bad now, we are just going to be experiencing how the ride quality of this vehicle is. It is underpinned by the E-Platform 3.0, which is the third generation platform from BYD. This is a born electric platform. Although most of us feel that BYD has always been an all electric vehicle, and obviously they're a lot into batteries and electricity and electric tech and the likes. They actually also used to make gasoline engine cars earlier. So now they are completely electric, of course. Thing is that the ride is very nice. The suspension is on the softer side, because of which on such roads it glides through without any hesitation whatsoever. It's got independent suspension both at the front as well as in the rear, and you can feel that the ride is very nice. The only thing is when you speed up now, the ride is not as fab because it thuds through, and then because the motor is so silent, the electric motor is super silent, you can hear a lot more of the road noise, the wind noise, the tire noise, and all that can be heard for sure. Now the thing is, I have actually put the regen on standard, so we are going to switch it to high. When I put the regen on high, it will automatically automatically reduce the speed because it's going to regen. So it's not really one pedal driving, which we'll try and experience right now in a bit. Now, what is the USP of BYD? It is the Blade batteries, which are the most advanced batteries in the world. So what exactly is a Blade battery? The thing is, they arrange the battery cells in an array which actually ends up resembling a blade, and that results in better space utilization, in fact to the tune of 50%, which means that obviously they can have a bigger battery pack or a more powerful battery pack in lesser space, which means lesser weight, better space utilization, better weight utilization. And because the way the battery has been arranged in a blade format, it is also more robust. It passes the nail penetration test. That's not all. I mean, the nail penetration is one of the toughest tests, and it is also better in terms of heat management. So it's more heat resistant, it's more fire resistant, so just more safer, the Blade battery which BYD offers, and that's obviously something which is there in almost, I think, all their cars now. So that's another USP of BYD, other than the fact that the interior is just very quirky, unimaginably quirky. And you know what? Yeah, you can hear the indicators. Yeah, the indicator sound also comes. So I'm just going to get into the settings, and I can actually link. Yeah, I can link the steering wheel, the indicator and the camera position. So this works under 10 kilometers per hour here. Now given an indicator, now it's switching the camera. Can you see that? Isn't that so cool? It's quite nice, huh? All this tech now, it's like tech loaded. The horn is also nice actually. So a lot of tech filled in this car to make it look or make it feel very unique. And here I get into the accelerator, it's fine. Here what you're going to do is we're going to get into eco mode, which is the most efficient mode if you want. Okay, this is a bit confusing. I got into eco mode, I don't know how I ended up in sport mode. So what it does is basically these various modes alter how the power delivery happens. Basically, I think it'll produce lesser output when you're driving in eco mode, and it doesn't feel sluggish at all even in eco mode. So obviously when you're driving in sport mode, it is unbelievably fast for a car of this segment, but then it doesn't give you the push back into the seat kind of feel. And since we are driving, why not have some gimmicks being done on the way, which is moving the screen like this, because of course I can. It's very nice and very cool a feature to have. Now, what powers this vehicle? Well, it is a 60.48 kilowatt hour battery pack, and the interesting part is they have two battery packs. One is around 50 kilowatt hour, which is the standard range battery. This is the extended range. So we've actually got the extended range battery in India, which is a good thing. Now, this one has a claim range of 521 kilometers from ARAI. So ARAI is continuing to make a fool of itself by giving such gimmicky numbers, because under NEDC, I think, it returns 480 kilometers. In the real world, expect somewhere between 375 to 420 depending on your driving style, which is quite respectable. This motor produces 205 horsepower and the torque output is 310 Newton meters. The result is, when you get on the throttle, it obviously has a nice linear unending surge of power, pulling strongly, like really very strongly, and then as soon as I leave the throttle, the regen is there, but it's not as quick as I expected. So here now the speed is decreasing. I had almost touched 100. Now we are come to 65, 60. So let's see whether this car is going to come to a halt or not, which means I should just give an indicator here, come to the side, and let this car reduce its speed as much as possible on its own. So okay, the regen is not that aggressive. We should turn on the hazard lights because we're going to come to a halt on the side. So this is the regen. It's slowing down slowly, and now we are cruising at 15 kilometers per hour. Unlike other cars which have this regen tech, this one is a bit laid back, I would say, and very simple. No complex paddles or stuff like that. It's just simple. They have given us two regens. One is standard, one is high, and now it is starting to cruise around 10 kilometers per hour. That's it. Yeah, it's just going to cruise at this speed, 10 kilometers per hour. Now it's come to 9. I think by the time it comes to a halt, I must have already reached my destination, because that is the speed at which this regen happens. So while this is happening, let's turn this screen also, because I want to change some settings, and I can do that while this car is planning to cruise all along. Firstly, I don't like this sound which comes. So this sound is kind of irritating to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the settings, and I am actually going to change this to vehicle prompt sound to standard. Yeah, the standard sound, and the engine sound to dynamic. So yeah, we've changed that to dynamic as well. So no longer I'll get this kind of weird sound from here. We get into smart chassis, steering mode sport, brake pedal regulation sport, and here drive mode also I'm going to shift to sport. Regen I will turn to, okay, I have to be on high only, but it's going to keep cruising at 6 kilometers per hour. It's not really going to come to a halt. So I will apply brakes and come to a halt instead, and then I have changed the regen mode to standard because I don't want that to interfere with my driving, of course. And obviously we will turn on the camera, because why not? It's like such a cool camera. We're just going to keep the front view because earlier on, okay, it doesn't go too much down, this camera view. Okay, before we go, I also need to turn off the traction control system, which I had forgotten, by the way. So we actually get into here, ESP off, and let's get into the camera view. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off. Listen to this. Of course, this being a front wheel drive car really spins the wheels quite a lot, and with traction control off, obviously I can feel that resistance is less, but so much torque going to the front wheels. This is obviously front wheel drive, and because this is front wheel drive, and I'm also steering with the front wheels, and there is not much weight on the front wheels. The steering is a bit weird. Firstly, it does weigh up. It's not lighter steering. It's not like super light. It does weigh up, but then in the center now there's some slack. It just feels loose. It just feels kind of disconnected somehow. So not the best steering wheel. And then obviously there's body roll as well because of the soft suspension. And then high speed ride is not that great either. But this camera is so fluid and I love it. I love the way it whirls. So basically, how do you charge this car? Well, if you get a 80 kilowatt DC fast charger, you can go from 0 to 80% in just 50 minutes, but good luck with finding one. So BYD will actually supply you with a 7 kilowatt AC charger for home charging, and they'll also install it for you, which by the way takes 10 hours to charge this car completely, which is the norm honestly. But this actually supports the 800 volt architecture, which means it has two-way charging, so it can also charge other things. So basically they will also give you a 3 kilowatt charging box, something of that sort, so that you can charge external appliances. It's a gimmick which obviously the Ioniq 5 as well as the EV6 also have. The EQS does not have it. So basically the 3 kilowatt charger, AC charger, which will be provided initially for few customers or initial batches, will let you charge appliances from this car. Otherwise you'll have to purchase that if you're not an early bird. Oh, there you see blind spot monitor. In fact, the button is here of the blind spot monitor. I can turn it on and off. Now the thing is, it can support up to 3.3 kilowatt, which is fine, I guess, in terms of the external charging. It's known as vehicle to load. Now you can see a little bouncy over these expansion joints. I get it on the throttle, the response is quite immediate and nice. That color is quite nice on the quid. Yeah, that was a tiger. Anyways, doesn't matter. And obviously it has got a slew of ADAS functions, level 2. Now lane keep assist works nicely here. It's actually telling me that when I'm leaving a lane, so it's got lane keep assist, lane departure warning, it's got forward collision warning, it's got rear collision warning, it's got automatic emergency braking, it has got reverse cross traffic alert, blind spot monitor, the usual ADAS functions which work decently well. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 7.3 seconds. The top speed of this car is around 170 kilometers per hour, which is decent. And honestly, it's an electric car, right? So it doesn't have that feel. It's very smooth, it's very refined. It's not very punchy in terms of power delivery. It takes a little bit of its own sweet time to respond as such. And even when you get on the throttle at any speed, it will immediately pull ahead, because power delivery is also very, very, very progressive in this car. Now, of course, because it's an electric vehicle, it comes with a standard 8 years, 1.6 lakh kilometer warranty for the battery. For the motor and the motor generator and all those things, the warranty is 8 years, 1.5 lakh kilometers. I don't know why the 10,000 kilometers less, but that's kind of weird, but that's how it is. And beyond that, the standard warranty is also fantastic on this car, which we'll talk about in a bit. Thing is that the brakes are good. They don't feel that abrupt, usually, which you get in electric cars. So initial bite is not aggressive. It's kind of soft. It gets the job done. And I quite like the way the whole drive experience is very soothing. It's calm. It doesn't scare you silly. And it's something which most people will adapt to. Those who do not like cars. If you like cars, electric is not your thing. Trust me, it's not your thing. But because I'm getting bored, why not do this? At any speeds, it spins the wheels. Thing is, because the road is wet right now, so it's not coming up with the screeching sound or the tire burning sound, but at any speeds, it can just screech the wheels like mad. You see, throttle response is immediate. Now let's talk about what exactly is BYD. BYD is one of the leading companies when it comes to battery technology. They've also been working and supplying to a lot of mobile phone brands since a long time. And this company is into a lot of things, including buses and trucks and all electric and all. And they have been present in India since around 2007. So they're not like a new brand in India. They have a factory in Chennai, of course. That's the reason we are driving this car in Chennai right now. And Chennai is raining in December, which is very weird. Where is the sun when you need it the most? Now, thing is that BYD has not been original all the time. Okay, find a parking space nearby. Okay, I should just park the car on the highway. That's a nice suggestion. So basically, BYD has not always been original. Like most of us feel, oh my god, BYD's designs are so good now and all that stuff. They have been ripping apart Toyota designs for like ever.
Again?
Sorry, I was not talking to you. Keep your mouth shut. So what happened was, in the earlier days, BYD copied the Corolla, the Aygo. They also copied the Lexus RX. They also copied a Mercedes sports car, and they came up with an exact same design. So obviously the brand suit them, and the Chinese judge is like, no, they don't look same. So obviously either he was blind or he was stupid, or I'll make a whole video of how the Chinese are evolving and how they have reached where they have reached. Just shut up. I'm not talking to you. So the thing is, I will make a complete dedicated video telling you how the Chinese have been able to reach to this place with crazy support from the government in terms of copying other people's design and all that stuff. So this happened, and then like a lot of negative things have also happened with BYD. So it's not like all saint, but then right now they are on a complete path of electric vehicles, and they're one of the biggest, and they're also growing very fast. In fact, it's a Chinese brand which doesn't feel ashamed of calling themselves Chinese, unlike another Chinese brand which pretends to be British. I'm not going to take the name of MG right now, but you get the you get the drift, right? What I'm trying to say here. So hazard lights on. We're just going to come to halt on the left side of the road. Alright, let's change the camera view to Need for Speed. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Hazard lights off, and off we go. Oh, it continuously keeps wheel spinning. So this car comes up, it comes with 6 years roadside assistance. It comes with a 6 year, 1.5 lakh kilometer warranty, which is fantastic, to be honest. And then 6 free services. They are obsessed with the 6 number, of course. And 3 years of 4G connectivity for the connected car bit. Now, I was telling you about BYD doing some wrongdoings. Well, they had actually stolen trade secrets and intellectual property from Foxconn. And you know, Foxconn is the company which actually makes Apple iPhones and a lot of stuff for a lot of American tech companies. So they had done this as well. But anyways, that's not my concern. My concern is that the pricing of this car is on the higher side. And why is it on the higher side? Because it's not made in India. No. It's not even CKD. It's actually SKD. SKD is semi-knockdown kit. So everything is made in China. It comes to their Chennai factory where they assemble everything, and obviously the price is on the high side. This car costs almost 36 lakhs on road, which is quite a lot. And this 35.86 lakhs on road plus the very small dealership network is another problem. Now, of course, the car is bigger than its chief rivals, the MG ZS EV, as well as the Kona, the Hyundai Kona. The problem is that Hyundai is not very serious about selling the Kona yet. and the facelift model has come abroad but not come to India. MG is aggressive, but the extra price you pay for this car seems worth it compared to the MG, because obviously better range, better performance, more features, better interior. Personally, for me, I feel it looks quite nice. Some people might not like it, but for me it's like very different and hatke, and this is a design which honestly no Japanese car maker has the balls to do. This is so hatke and so quirky. I really like it. I dig it. I think it's fantastic. So they have around 21 dealers, or in 21 cities they have presence, which they want to expand to 24 by the end of this year, which means they have, like, the clock is ticking, tick tock, and by 2023 end they want to have 53 dealers, which is an ambitious target. So the only problem is that the car is on the expensive side, and the car has no feel, and there are very few dealerships. So these are things which you need to factor in before buying a BYD car. The E6 is more attractively priced now in comparison, slightly under 32 lakhs, but still like quite expensive, because the battery is also state of the art here. Okay, now this is a lithium iron phosphate battery, something like that, which obviously has good amount of charge. Are you enjoying the need for speed or not? The only thing is now you tend to drive the car faster because you don't feel anything. You're like, okay, let me drive it faster to see, maybe I get some feel from the car, but no. And you know what, the speed warning you can actually turn on and on from the cluster. Isn't that a cool thing? So right now, if you notice that it's not giving me any indication if I'm going above 80 kilometers per hour, because I have turned off that setting. Nice, I like it. Quite a lot of wind noise. I think some noise is coming here on the A-pillar side as well. And the body is actually very aerodynamic, which has obviously been done in terms of improving the efficiency of this vehicle. So as I see it, this car is not really going to sell in good numbers because of the high price, but somehow they have slotted in a sweet spot, because there isn't any electric car between 30 to 40 lakhs, and that's what they are targeting. So with even the E6 as well as this particular car, the Atto 3, the pricing is such that there's no real direct competitor, although people will end up paying lesser or more for either the... Okay, look at the vibrations on the steering wheel. So if you're going to opt for the ZS EV, you're going to save money. If you're going to opt for something bigger, like say the XC40 Recharge, which is obviously considerably more money. So I think there is a good market for this car. Only thing is they need to expand their dealership network. They should probably start manufacturing this car in India, and once they do that, probably the demand will also increase, because I think they have sold around 1500 units of the E6, and no, they've got bookings of 1500 units for this car, which seems quite optimistic and quite good if that's true, and 600 units for the E6, because the E6 is more commercial vehicle side of things, which is also quite good, you know, because at the end of the day, for a new brand like BYD, who nobody knows, to trust them and buy cars from them is a brave decision. Now obviously in the commercial segment it's very different, even with fleet operators very different, because fleet operators main priority is what is the charging cost. So we are going to take a U-turn here. Yeah, it doesn't make sound over expansion joints. No, it makes, but not through rumblers. On the throttle. It's all over the place with the level of wheel spin it's having. Okay, we're gonna stop here. Alright, hazard lights off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. Oh ho ho. There you see it. Linear, nice performance. By the way, the weight of this car is 1750 kgs. You don't feel the weight somehow, which is a good thing actually. I'm going to go into this home function. I'm quite surprised by the screen. Yeah, MG needs to maybe borrow it from BYD. So BYD, what it does is it has everything in-house. So it makes its own semiconductors. So it's not reliant on any third party, which is a good thing. And they also make screens, and they supply to other mobile brands and all that. So the whole ecosystem is there with BYD, and they actually control 10% of the world's lithium ion mines, which again is kind of crazy. Only 6% of lithium actually goes in an electric vehicle battery. Now here you can see various systems. It also has hill descent control, of course, and there. Right now I have actually turned on everything, so urgent lane keeping is also on and all. So ADAS functions are good, but honestly I think India is not the right place for these functions because it's not very practical there. The forward collision warning makes this sound as well. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.